Hey guys, I'm going to walk you through the portfolio assessment format. It is now in Schoology, and I wanted to make sure you understood how you use the tools, as well as give you an example. My example is going to be from first quarter. Just a reminder, you are using your units from second quarter. So that is matter and atoms, natural resources, and properties of water. Okay, so once you get into your assessment, you're going to click Start New Attempt. And here you'll see that you're going to make a video recording. The videos are only 2 minutes or less. We were expecting you guys to make a video for about a minute long. When I've been practicing this, mine gets a little close to the 2-minute mark, and you'll see a warning. So I probably will talk longer than a minute. You'll see the warning up at the top, so I can show you that. And you'll see at the top as well the prompt for what you're supposed to do. The assessment follows the format on your planning sheet. So as long as you're following what you wrote, like at the top of your planning sheet in the next sections, then you're going to be following along with what's on the assessment. So this says concept 1, make a video about one of the concepts explaining the content you learned and the evidence of how you learned it. Here I'm going to be talking about Earth and Seasons, the Day, Night, and Seasons lab, and I'm going to be talking using some of the vocabulary words and how I saw those vocabulary words in the lab. All right, so click record. And now you get to see me. So I chose Earth and Seasons because I feel like I really understood the concepts. I learned about seasons being the opposite in different hemispheres during the Day, Night, and Seasons lab. I was able to see that there was more sunlight on the hemispheres tilted towards the sun and less away from the sun. Additionally, this lab helped me understand how tilt and revolution are related. When we moved the globe and the amount of sunlight hitting each hemisphere changed. At position 1, the northern hemisphere was tilted towards the sun, and the northern hemisphere was about 2/3 illuminated, while the southern hemisphere only was about 1/3 illuminated. This represented summer in the northern hemisphere. When we moved the globe to position 2, the movement was representing revolution. The globe was neither tilted towards nor away from the sun, and both hemispheres received the same amount of light. That represents fall for the northern hemisphere and spring for the southern hemisphere. Also in the lab, we demonstrated day and night by spinning the globe or rotating it. I was able to see that the half of the Earth was illuminated, but where on Earth changed because it was spinning. And so I could understand how that was day and night. Okay, so I paused the video. You can click stop or pause and then move on to the next section. So the next section, you're going to make a video about a different concept using different vocabulary terms from a different unit and similar format. So once you're done with that, click next. Here you're going to discuss one of your driving questions. I again chose Earth and Seasons for this just as an example. I feel like you guys did a great job with Earth and Seasons, but now you can see how it is presented to you in the Schoology program. So I'm going to click record once again and kind of read what I wrote on my planning sheet. Okay. At first, I didn't understand Earth's tilt and how it affects the seasons. I thought it would change the phases of the moon and that it might look different from that other planet. But now I know that if the planet doesn't have a tilt, it's not going to have seasons. I was surprised that the seasons were the opposite in different hemispheres. But now that I've gone through the unit, it makes sense to me. On the planet without a tilt, it's going to be the same. So the temperatures are going to be, there's going to be no seasons. There's going to be like a gradient of temperatures from the equator up to the poles, or like a change in the temperatures. But whatever it is in the northern hemisphere, it's going to be the same type of change in the southern hemisphere. And I had no clue about Polaris as well, but now I know about that. And I know this planet might also have a star that it points to. It just doesn't have a tilt on its axis. So once again, you can press stop or pause and then move on to the next section. This last section is about learning reflection and goal setting. So you have some sentence starters, like one thing I realized over time I got better at, and you're going to talk about how were you as a student in the classroom and how could you improve or how could you continue doing what you're doing to maintain that level that you're at right now. Okay. For my learning reflection and goal setting, I want to focus on what I've done to improve and what I'm going to continue to do. So I have been studying my flashcards for 5 to 10 minutes every other night, like on A days after I have science class, I study them. And that's helped me to understand the material better. So I'm going to continue to do that. I have kind of been a little bit shy, so I haven't really raised my hand in class. But now that I know the material better, I feel like I'm going to improve that. So I used to like raise my hand once or twice, but now I think I can raise my hand more and participate more. I also have been doing better at our discussions in class. So when you tell me to talk to a partner, I know more about the material, so I'm able to talk about it more. Okay. So once you're done, you're going to click review and then click finish. Awesome. Thank you guys.